I had a 1-month-old baby girl when I discovered my boyfriend of 26 was cheating on me with his colleague. I found out through Microsoft Teams messages on his laptop while looking up information for our daughter's doctor appointment here in Houston. They had been carrying on for 5 months, meaning he was cheating even while I was pregnant. When confronted, he gave me the ridiculous excuse that they were only making out and it happened less than 10 times. I didn't believe him for a second. Who gets that intimate repeatedly and doesn't have sex? Plus, the messages I saw made it clear their relationship was very physical. The worst part? His colleague knew about me and our newborn baby. She pursued him anyway, showing complete disregard for our family. I was healing from childbirth, barely sleeping, taking care of our daughter, and he was sneaking around with this homewrecker. I packed up my baby and left immediately. Thank God I never agreed to marry him just because I was pregnant. I moved in with my sister temporarily, while I consulted with a lawyer about custody and child support. He kept begging to see the baby, claiming his cheating had nothing to do with how much he loves his daughter. After a few visits, when I told him I was filing for full custody, he finally admitted they did have sex multiple times. In his car, at her place, even at the office after hours. The court proceedings were difficult, but I secured primary custody and child support. His family tried to mediate, with his mother suggesting I should forgive him because men make mistakes. The colleague even reached out to apologize, claiming she didn't realize how serious our relationship was, despite knowing about the baby. Ironically, she left him 6 months later for another coworker. Karma really does come around. Now, almost 2.5 years later, I have a good job that allows me to work from home part-time. I'm dating a wonderful man who respects me and adores my daughter. My ex sees our daughter every other weekend and pays child support, though often late. This journey wasn't easy, but I'm stronger for it. My daughter deserves to see her mother value herself, and I refuse to accept betrayal when I was at my most vulnerable. When my daughter was just 1 month old, I caught my boyfriend cheating with his colleague through Microsoft Teams messages on his laptop. They'd been having an affair for 5 months, including during my pregnancy. Here in Houston, I was home caring for our newborn while he was betraying us. He claimed they only made out, and it happened less than 10 times, but I didn't believe him. The other woman knew about me and our baby but pursued him anyway. I took my daughter and left immediately, staying with my sister while consulting a lawyer. When I filed for custody, he finally admitted they had sex multiple times, in his car, at her place, and even at work. His family tried to convince me to forgive him, with his mother saying men make mistakes. The homewrecker even reached out to apologize, claiming she didn't realize how serious our relationship was. After a difficult court battle, I secured primary custody and child support. Ironically, his affair partner left him 6 months later for another coworker. Now, almost 2.5 years later, I have a good job with flexibility for my daughter. I'm dating someone who respects me and loves my child. My ex sees our daughter every other weekend. This journey taught me my worth and showed my daughter that disrespect should never be tolerated, even at your most vulnerable time. 30-second version. When my baby was just 1 month old, I discovered my boyfriend's affair with his coworker through Microsoft Teams messages. Here in Houston, I was caring for our newborn while he was betraying us with someone who knew about his girlfriend and baby. He claimed they only made out, but later admitted to multiple sexual encounters when I filed for custody. I took my daughter and left immediately. After a difficult legal battle, I secured primary custody and child support. His affair partner ironically left him for another coworker months later. Now, 2.5 years later, I have a flexible job, am dating a respectful man who loves my daughter, and have found my strength. My ex sees our daughter bi-weekly and has learned that actions have consequences. 15-second version. While caring for our 1-month-old in Houston, I discovered my boyfriend's affair with his colleague through Microsoft Teams. I left with my baby, got custody and child support, and built a better life. 2 years later, I'm with someone who respects us both, while his affair partner left him for another coworker months after our breakup.